Hi, I'm your host, Kirsten Quinn, and welcome to the Philadelphia Cultural Forum on CCP TV, Community College of Philadelphia's educational channel. We have several outstanding guests with us tonight, all of whom hail from the Philadelphia Folksong Society and the Philadelphia Music Co-op. The Philadelphia Folksong Society is dedicated to preserving the past, promoting the present, and securing the future of folk music and related forms of expression through education, presentation, and participation. First, we have two local singer-songwriters who are also members of the Philadelphia Music Co-op. One of our artists who will be performing tonight is Mbalia. She is a Philadelphia-based singer-songwriter who spent a lot of time in New York, working at such esteemed venues as the Brooklyn Moon Cafe and Ian Friday's Tea Party. She moved back to Philly in 1998 and recorded demos for John Legend, one of which became the Grammy-nominated single from his debut album, Stay With Me. She now plays and sings her original music all around Philly, as a solo act or with her partner in crime, Tom Lubay. Her sound has been described as sometimes rock, sometimes pop, but always full of soul. Our other musical guest is the Reverend T.J. McClinchy. His debut album, Tell Me to Stay, is rooted in American folk music, but runs a gamut of influences, including reggae, Latin, blues, and rock. The album has picked up airplay on WXPN and represents the culmination of a decade of refining his craft and networking with fellow musical artists from Philadelphia, many of whom helped him bring the record to life. The Reverend earned the honor of gracing that legendary Philadelphia Folk Festival's main stage in 2012. Please welcome TJ and Mbalia to the show. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here today.
A pleasure.
I'm very excited to have you both here because you're both going to be performing for us as well, doing mini concerts for the audience here at CCP TV. And I wanted to find out a little bit about you guys as artists and how you started and what your process is as performers and musicians. So would either of you guys like to start or tell me a little bit about you?
Depends on what you would like to know first, I guess.
How did you start out with music? When did you
I've been
first
playing
get
music
the bug?
since I was about 10. I started with piano.
Okay.
And then my dad was a kind of bluegrass musician, plays banjo and guitar, so I kind of picked up the guitar. Just it's around the house, so you start playing.
Sure. And so you come from a musical family.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And you went to school for music as well, is that correct?
I attended Westchester University for a while, studying music ed, and then I took a break to make the album. And eventually, I'll finish a degree somewhere. But
Absolutely, that's fantastic. It's really great. How about you, Mbalia? When did you start, and how did you start?
Well, I would say I come from a musical family, but none of them are studied musicians per se. We all sing, and we used to sing around the table. My dad is self-taught on guitar and keyboard, and so I started predominantly as a singer. I took piano lessons as a child too. I think that's a requirement sometimes to make you take
being a musician,
right? And but I really found the guitar as an adult as an instrument that really kind of matched what I needed.
Okay. Yeah. And when did you start writing songs?
Oh, well, you write songs as a kid, your mom does something or doesn't let you do something, so you just bang out something on the piano, So I probably started writing songs as a child, but in earnest, I would say over the last 6 years or so.
Okay.
Right.
And you were in New York before. When did you come back to Philadelphia?
I lived in New York for a while. I returned in 1998, so I've been back for a while. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It was definitely a musical stew. It was a great environment to kind of, I was in the poetry scene, and so there was a lot of snapping, and so that was a lot of fun because anything worked, and so there, I really enjoyed that, and then I returned to Philly, and there was a long break, where I was and still am a mother and a wife and a few other things, but I returned to really doing my own thing maybe about 5 years ago.
Oh, that's great. Right. And where do you play in this area so that people can come check you out?
Sure. So I played all of the really cool spots. I really enjoy the Grape Room. I haven't played there in a while. I've opened at the World Cafe.
Oh, have you?
I have a few times, and that's always fun. And I've played Milk Boy Philly and in Ardmore, and I used to do Love Park outside. I
Oh,
don't know
did
if
you?
I'll do that this year, but that is so fun.
It is.
That's got to be a good time.
Yeah, you know, you get to hook the people in on their lunch where they don't like
Yeah.
it and they walk away. Either
No.
way,
They
you
have
know,
to stay.
you know if what you're doing is working. So I
Yeah.
like the outdoor gig too.
They must stay for you.
Sometimes.
Absolutely.
You know.
How about you, Reverend TJ? Where can we see you?
Well, I much of the same places. I play the Grape and
Okay.
Milk Boy, World Cafe, spaces like that. I got a show in May, Underground Arts with Boris
good.
Garcia.
Okay.
I run an open mic on South Street, a place
Oh, do
called
you?
Woolly Mammoth on Thursdays. So
Woolly Mammoth.
that's a fun time. It's just starting to get going. We kind of started that venue in January. We're kind of building it up. It's a new place.
Okay.
It's been there for a while, but they haven't had music, so we're kind of building it as a music venue now.
And when will you guys start doing, performances and such?
We've been doing shows of local acts on Fridays and Saturdays, and like I said, the open mic on Thursdays.
Right.
So I'm pretty much there every
You're
Thursday
there
and
every
Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
So if you
Okay.
want to come say hi, come by, say hello.
That's fantastic.
But I'm trying to do at least one band show a month.
Okay.
I do a lot of little solo stuff all over town.
Okay.
So yeah, I keep pretty busy besides teaching and stuff like that.
Yeah. Where do you teach?
At a shop in Wayne called Troubadour.
Nice.
I've been working there about 11 years.
Okay. And what do you teach them? What is the
Guitar, of course, piano,
Okay.
of course, also bass and upright bass,
Bass and upright bass too.
and voice and ukulele.
Nice. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a really cool job. I mean, to be able to educate people about
Yeah.
music too. I mean,
Yeah,
You're
you get to
doing
work
it
with
all the time.
all sorts of levels of musicians, and you
Right.
find different ways to explain the kind of abstract idea of playing an instrument
Yeah.
or music in itself, just hearing it differently and organizing your thoughts on it and that kind of thing.
and they get to learn it from somebody who's in the business and doing it, which is also, I think, really important.
Yeah, I had a student come to a show
yeah?
at World Cafe with his mom. He was over the moon about it. He
That's
loved
true.
it.
That's really terrific. That's cool. And you worked with John Legend, is that right?
I did. He was actually
that
John
happened.
Stevens at the time.
Yeah, right.
And I met his producer at a fundraiser at someone's home, his producer David Tozer. And so we would go to David's apartment on Green Street in the Fairmount area and just work up a bunch of different demos. And it was pretty cool because to have one of them end up on the album. And
Oh,
that was
yeah.
fun. And I think,
amazing.
I do believe we recorded that track at Sigma Studios here in Philly,
did you?
which was really cool because
Yeah.
a lot of legends have been through there. So that
That's
was a great experience.
So you guys are going to play some stuff for us today. And I want to get a little bit of background. I know you're going to give background during the concert itself, but I wanted you to maybe tell us the song titles and where you sort of came up with these ideas a little bit. So either one of you can take the floor on this one first.
I'll
or
go
second.
first. The songs that I play, it's kind of thematic, you might say. I write a lot of love songs and kind of heartbreak tunes, and
Yeah.
it's definitely an American style that I do. It's based in blues and
Okay.
folk music. But the songs that I'm going to play, I feel comfortable playing them solo. I have some other tunes that are more geared towards a band,
Okay.
a few tunes with horns on them, things like that. But
Right.
the ones I'm going to do here are, I think, more apropos for solo performance.
Okay, and what are the names of the songs? Just so we have the titles and then you'll hear.
I have like a reggae tune, it's called Too Much, and then I have a kind of more two-steppy folk tune that's called If You See Her,
Okay.
another slower tune called Don't Be Afraid, and then a new tune that I don't really have a title for yet.
Okay.
I'm still working on it.
All right. So you're still working on the title of the song, but we get to hear it first. That's pretty cool.
Brand new.
Okay, let's check out the Reverend T.J. McClinchy and his work.
All right, so this is one of the first songs I wrote about 5 or 6 years ago. It's kind of one of the tunes that made me work more on my songwriting and performing. So it's called Too Much. Here we go. I don't know why you let me down again. Yeah, you made me cry. I thought I was your friend, I thought I was your guy, but you let me down again. I don't wanna say goodbye. You made me love you, now I'm your fool. You made me love you, now I'm your fool. I thought I was your man, I thought I was your guy, but you let me down again. I don't wanna, ooh, and it's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Yeah, it's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Yeah, it's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Yeah, it's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. This next one, I write a lot of like heartbreak songs, breakup stuff, songs about girls. It's a thing. American songwriting, I like to do sad songs in major keys, so that it's happy sounding music with like a sadder message. So this one's called If You See Her. Anybody see my baby? Anybody see my girl? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? If you see her, tell her that I'm waiting at home. Thought I saw my pretty baby, thought I saw her yesterday, just walking away, walking away. If you see her, tell her that I'm waiting at home. I wanna run away. I wanna run away. I wanna leave today. Tell me to stay. Anybody see my baby? Anybody see my girl? Have you seen her? Have you seen her? If you see her, tell her that I'm waiting at home. If you see her, tell her that I'm waiting at home. If you see her, tell her that I'm waiting at home. another one in a major key that's sad, a little more melancholy. I like this one. A lot of people like this song. It's got a real standout melody to it. Don't be afraid to love me like you want to love me. Ooh. Baby, I'm made to love you. There's nothing I can do. When I look into your eyes, I see your whole life. That's why it's no surprise to me that you're running away. I wanna be your man. I'm doing all I can. Ooh. See it in your eyes. You never tell me lies. In those times when I'm thinking of you, and I tell myself to stop. It's in those times I've been drinking a few, and I don't know when to stop. Don't be afraid to love me like you want to love me. Next one I'm going to play is a new song I've been working on. Still trying to figure out exactly what key I'd like to play it in. I feel pretty comfortable where I'm at so far. Also still trying to decide whether or not it needs a bridge, but I like it as it is. stuck in a rut again, going nowhere, going nowhere. Think I'm stuck in a rut again, going nowhere, going nowhere. Think I'll take another walk downtown, take a look at who's hanging around, have a couple more to clean my head, walk back home, go to bed. Now I'm up on my feet again, starting over, starting over. Now I'm up on my feet again, starting over, starting over. Think I'll take another walk downtown, getting kinda tired of just hanging around. Think I got enough for just one more, end up back at my front door. Now I'm falling in love again, thinking it over, thinking it over. Now I'm falling in love again, thinking it over, thinking it over. Think I'll take another walk downtown, but getting so used to you being around. Walking together, hand in hand, finally found someone who understands. Thanks, guys.
So that was pretty amazing stuff. I
Thank you.
love your fretwork. I love the way that you created these songs. I mean, I can hear the influences that you talked about, the blues, the reggae, the folk music, of course.
Thank you very much.
And you know, there's such a longing to it and a heartbreak to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got these like really hummable melodies that you've created. So
That's kind of what I go
cool.
for.
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I like people to come away from a show or just a listening to my songs, like humming something. Like if you don't come out of one of my shows singing a tune, I haven't done my job really.
Oh, our viewers will definitely be singing your songs
Hope so.
after watching the show, and I know I will be too. And you know, I really enjoyed watching you two perform.
Thank you
I
very
like how
much.
you said something about singing sad songs in a major key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I noticed in a lot of American music is it's happy sounding music, but
Right.
the theme and the lyrics are a little more forlorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting combo. Cool.
Thank you.
All right, and Belia, you're up next. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be performing for us.
All right. This, you know, the way that I write is generally inspired by the people I know and kind of the mundanity of our lives, you know, which has, you know, there are a lot of peaks and valleys in any given day. And so I do write a little bit about love, but I'm really interested in kind of the intricacies of our daily relationships to one another. And so the songs I'll be doing tonight, one is Don't Bet Against Me, which is just, You know, I think, especially as a musician, you have your ups and your downs, and you know, you really have to kind of rely on yourself to keep yourself going. And so, who knows how it will turn out? But you know, I'm betting on myself always.
Gotta do it anyway.
Gotta do it anyway. I wrote a song called "Pray" that was just about the influence of having a relationship to something a little higher and bigger than myself, and how it helps me stay sane and not go to jail. So
that's good.
Yes, keep me out of the pokey. And and let's see, I also wrote another song I'll be doing tonight is one called "Tumbling After."
Okay.
And that was inspired by my neighbors who had just moved into their house, and I happened to be standing outside, and I saw them put their bags down, and he picked her up and carried her into the house, you know, which made me kind of melty and kind of bitter.
That's cool.
You know, both, you know,
at the same time.
You know, like it's always nice, you know, and how much work goes into maintaining a healthy relationship. So that's what that one was about. And I think, is that all of them?
I think you have one more.
I think I did have one more.
Gas and
Tolls.
Tolls.
Yes. So that's a more recent song that just kind of deals with longing, you know, and maybe you don't have everything you need to get you to what you truly desire, you know, but you can just keep hoping that maybe one day you'll have enough to get you there. So
that's great. Yeah. Well, everyone enjoy Mbalia's music and her wonderful performance.
Thank you. So this is a song I wrote about being in a marriage and trying to figure out how to still be yourself. So let's see. Carry me across the threshold, baby. Go ahead, seal it with a kiss. We will always be each other's baby. Mother Goose could learn a lot from this. Made a promise that we'd always cherish and obey. Is that a promise that it always has to stay this way? Carry me across the threshold, baby. But don't ask me again, because this time I won't come tumbling after. This time I won't come tumbling after. Went up the hill, but now the pail's too heavy. I told you we didn't need this much. You got angry when I called you greedy. Then you called me a such and such. Tired of stumbling and getting up all the time. Happy ending should be happy in a nursery rhyme. Went up the hill, now the pail's too heavy. Just don't ask me again, because this time I won't come tumbling after. This time I won't come tumbling after. This time I won't come tumbling after. After and after and after and after. Happily ever after and after and after and after. Happily ever after and after and after. Let's take a walk through the enchanted forest, the one we always circumvent. Let's pick the berries right before their harvest. No one needs to know where we went. Let's shake it up and shift the paradigm. Let's never start a story with a once upon a time. Let's take a walk through the enchanted forest. Just don't ask me again, because this time I won't come tumbling after. This time I won't come tumbling after. This time I won't come tumbling after. So I wrote this one because, you know you're broke when you can't afford a plane ticket, but you know you're really broke when you can't afford gas and tolls. So this is for those of us who've been there. Never seem smaller than you do right now, with your hands on your hips, pursing your lips. And I could just touch you as I do the ground. It'll always be there, like the kink in your head. But I can't take what I want. I just can't steal what I want. I was raised just a little too well, but not good enough. 'Cause what I would not say to be laughing with you on the raft upon the park lake. Oh, what I would not do to have the gas and toll to get back to you. To have the gas and toll to get back. Back before the wave took it all away, there was a tranquility, bit of civility. Now we have to blame it on an act of God, like he needs us to belong. We were never meant to be on our own, but I can't take what I want. I just can't steal what I want. I was raised just a little too well, but not quite good enough. Oh, what I would not say to be laughing with you on the raft upon the park lake. Oh, what I would not do to have the gas and toll to get back to you. To have the gas and toll to get back. But I can't take what I want. I just can't steal what I want. I can't take what I want. I just can't steal what I want. I can't take what I want. I just can't steal what I want. I was raised just a little too well, but not quite good enough. Oh, and I would not say to be laughing with you on the raft upon the park lake. Oh, what I would not do to have the gas and toll to get back to you. What I would not say to be laughing with you on the raft upon the park lake. To have the gas and toll to get back to you. To have the gas and toll to get back. So this one I wrote for a dear friend of mine. This is for all the hopeless losers. He said to me, "You don't have to bet on me, but don't bet against me." So I wrote a song about it. Talk is cheap, I've often heard it said. Try to walk the path inside my head. Embellishing in order to impress. Embarrassed to admit that I'm a mess. And to lie just to prove makes no sense. But Your Honor, I'd say in my defense, you don't have to bet on me, but don't bet against me. And you don't have to count on me, but don't count me out. See, I know that the odds are long and I'm often wrong, but I'm seldom in doubt. So you don't have to bet on me, but don't count me out. I know you don't remember what you said, but I can't get those words out of my head. To you it probably wasn't no big deal. You ripped a wound that never heals. And I spent my whole life trying to show that I'm worthy to those I don't know. See, you don't have to bet on me, but don't bet against me. And you don't have to count on me, but don't count me out. See, I know that the odds are long and I'm often wrong, but I'm seldom in doubt. So you don't have to bet on me, but don't count me out. Don't count me out. And I'll spend my whole life trying to show that I'm worthy to those I don't know. See, you don't have to bet on me, but don't bet against me. And you don't have to count on me. Don't count me out. See, I know that the odds are long and I'm often wrong, but I'm seldom in doubt. So you don't have to bet on me. See, you don't have to bet on me. See, you don't have to bet on me, but don't count me out. This is for all the 12-steppers. Let's see. You don't even know how lucky you are, 'cause if you call me on another day, you'll be on the hood of my car. You knew you was wrong when you ran that light. I'd have hit you and backed over you just for spite. But not today, because I prayed. Hey, you don't even know that you're fortunate. 'Cause if you call me on another day, you'll be full of woe and regret. With all that drama and disrespect, I'd have cussed you out like something you'd never forget. But not today, because I pray. I pray for peace and understanding, not to be so damn demanding, to be gracious when I lose, to put myself in your two shoes. I pray to not be full of rage, to tell the truth when I feel afraid. Lord knows I pray every day, 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 day. Every day, day, day. I guess I'm pretty lucky too. You could really let me have it after what I just said to you. Instead, you still treated me like a queen. If I was you, I'd have been real extra nasty and mean. But did I overhear you say you prayed today? I pray when plans get rearranged, to accept what I cannot change, to not put my mess on you, to not obsess about what you do. I pray for forgiveness and gratitude. Lord, help me fix my attitude. Lord knows I pray every day, 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 day. Every day, every day, every day, every day I got to pray. Every day, every day, every day I got to. I pray for the world, I pray for Obama, I pray for my daddy, and I pray for my mama, for my two babies and my man, and I'll pray for you. Did you know you can also pray no matter what you believe? It may sound cliche, but maybe we can achieve a little love, peace, and harmony every day, 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 every day, every day, every day, every day, yeah, 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 every day you can pray.
So I think we can all say that we were blown away by both of you and by your performance just now. And Belia, I think that you are an amazing singer. You've got remarkable range in your voice and soul, and the lyrics are really, really, heartfelt, and I think that we'll be able to connect with both of your music, through the soul that you bring to it. I mean, I can. The thing I love about this type of music is that it connects with people immediately, because it's you and your guitar, and you're up there, and you're doing your thing. Right. They're seeing everything stripped down, the artist and their instrument, and you guys, just have beautiful, complex artistry in everything you do, and I love the humor that you brought to some of your songs too.
Great. Thank you.
So this has been great having you guys on the show, and tell me a little bit how you got involved with the Philadelphia Folk Song Society and the co-op. How did that happen for you guys?
I've been going to the Folk Fest since I was a wee one, maybe that high.
Yeah.
This coming Folk Fest will be actually my 30th
Oh, wow.
attendance.
Okay.
So I've been familiar with the organization for a long time. Last year was my first year joining the co-op.
Okay.
I re-upped this year because it's an amazing organization. And
Yeah, right.
provided me a lot of opportunity and a lot of connections and contacts within the folk world and outside and what I really want to do. So it's just an amazing organization.
Yeah, I mean, it really brings people together and offers a lot of opportunities. How about you, Emily?
Well, I've known about the Philadelphia Folk Festival. I've never been to it.
You have to come and have a beer with me.
I will. Are you buying the beer?
I will.
Then I'm coming. And I wanted to build connections with other musicians. I think
Sure.
that's the tough thing when you're a solo artist, is trying to figure out, who else is out there and how you can just keep yourself inspired.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Levi, and he suggested that I join the Philadelphia Music Co-op, and
Great.
it's been awesome ever since.
And so you guys get to meet other artists within the community, and do you guys work together?
Yeah, they do some showcases and
Okay.
other functions where you can. There's networking things that you get
Nice.
to meet other people, and
It's good.
there's a lot of different shows that you can attend to do exactly that. Meet other.
And it must be inspirational, too, to be able to meet with people that
And we
have,
get to do
you know-
things like this, where I get to hang out with this lady. and
I
play
know,
music.
and I get to hang out with you guys. It's really been an honor and a privilege
Yeah,
to have you
thanks for
guys on the
having
show.
us.
That's
and
great. Thank you.
and thank you so much, and we'll be looking for your music. Where can we find your music? Do
I
you
have a website called revtj.com, revtj.com, and it's got all my other links for SoundCloud and that
Fantastic.
kind of stuff.
Okay, great. And how about you?
And I have a website, mbalia.com. That's
Okay.
mbalia.com.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show.
for having me.
Thank you, Kirsten.
And for telling us all about your music and about the Philadelphia Folk Song Society and the co-op. We really appreciate having you on the show, and I know our viewers are going to love it.
Great.
I'm looking forward to seeing
you.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're going to have Levi Landis, the Executive Director for the Philadelphia Folk Song Society and the Philadelphia Music Co-op, and Michael Cloran from the Philadelphia Folk Festival. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Levi Landis and Michael Cloran. Levi is the Executive Director for the Philadelphia Folk Song Society and the Philadelphia Music Co-op. With a master's in public administration from Villanova University, Levi Landis has nearly a decade of nonprofit executive direction experience, with an emphasis in arts and cultural organizations. Mr. Landis founded and directed the Emmaus, Inc., a nonprofit music center for teens and adults in Adams County, PA. His fund development experience has helped him raise over $16 million for Pennsylvania nonprofits. He is on the boards of numerous organizations and is affiliated with many more. Next, we have Michael Cloran, who is the current director of the Philadelphia Folk Festival and the Pennsylvania Blues Festival, and has produced over 100 national festival events since 1991, including multiple presentations of the Pocono Blues Festival, Spring Mountain Blues Festival, Pocono Gathering on the Mountain, and the Pocono Irish and Celtic Festival. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Thanks
You
for
have
having
Great to be here.
very impressive resumes.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And we're thrilled to have you here, as well as have the artists here tonight.
We're so excited to be a
with
part
us.
of it.
We're so excited to have you here. And I wanted to just have you guys talk a little bit about your respective organizations and what you're doing now.
Right.
Some of the programming, maybe, if you want to start, Levi, with the programming, and then
Absolutely.
we'll talk about the festival.
Sure.
I became the executive director of the Philadelphia Folk Song Society almost 6 years ago.
Okay.
So this will be my 6th festival. The organization is best known for the Philadelphia Folk Festival, which is probably our largest organization, and Michael's going to talk about.
Great.
But we also have a host of education programs.
Okay.
We put artists into schools where programs have been cut, where there's either no music programs or no music teachers, and so we actually send musicians in there teach the kids in Philadelphia.
That's
They
awesome.
sometimes have no access to music. So
Right.
different programs like that, in addition to concert series and things we do throughout the year. In addition to the programming that goes on at the festival, we have a monthly concert series. We have 3,000 members, so it's a membership organization. We do a lot of programming to benefit those members, but it's also open to the public, so it's very exciting.
Yeah.
One thing that brings us here with the artists is our Philadelphia Music Co-op,
Okay.
which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later as well, but I just wanted to say it's exciting for us to have that kind of contact with artists again.
Yeah.
When I came on, I was realizing that there were all these musicians in the area that were so excited about what we did. Either they knew about the festival or knew some of the other programs or the nonprofit work that we did. And they were just excited to get connected in whatever way.
Yeah.
So we started to brainstorm, how can we not just have maybe 3,000 general members, but how can we engage these artists and try to offer them more shows, more press and PR, get them connected with each other.
That's huge. The business side of music is huge.
It is, because when you see where music really connects and where you start to find an audience, it's not necessarily where the creativity is, although that helps. Philadelphia has a vital scene in terms of the creativity and the artists themselves. But you also find that it's places where the venues have taken up development, where they're saying, how can we invest in these artists?
Yeah.
Not because there's any money in it for us or anything in it for us other than
Right.
creating a scene so that all those ships rise with the tide.
Gotcha. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the festival is in its 52nd year. Is that correct?
52nd consecutive year, the longest continuous music festival in our country.
Can you tell us more about that for anyone that hasn't been to the festival and all of us who have but want to hear more about it?
We're just so proud of it. It's held the third weekend in August in the old Pool Farm in Schwenksville, Pennsylvania. So it's a farm. Prior to the event, 6 weeks up to it, we have 2,500 volunteers that do everything from build the infrastructure to running the event. We have 2,500 just cherished volunteers that just live for this event year round. And
Paper signs, do the production,
goodness.
everything.
and we really try to make it like a non-corporate kind of feel,
Right.
you know? And again, 7 years before Woodstock started, Philadelphia Folk Festival started.
That's
you know?
right.
So it's 6 stages, 45 to 50,000 guests throughout the weekend,
Oh my gosh.
upwards of 8,000 campers. So picture like 90 acres
Yeah.
divided in half. Half of it's the campside, half of it is the concert side.
That's got to be an incredible experience for people that come out to see this. I mean, that have never had that much exposure to all these different artists at the same time.
It is, and you know, like any great event, you don't have to be a big fan of, say, I came to see this act. It's just a great experience, and we're blessed for 52 years. The grandparents bring the kids, bring the
Right.
grandkids.
Yeah.
So it's just it's an experience really unlike any other. I've been really blessed to work with over 100 national and regional festivals, but the Philadelphia Folk Festival is number one.
It's got to be an amazing amount of coordination for both you guys with your organizations.
We start before this one's over. We'll
Yeah.
be planning
do
the
the
next
next
one. So
Yeah.
yeah, the interesting thing he's talking about the generational aspect of it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we wanted to bring the two artists that we did today, Reverend TJ and Balia,
Yeah.
was they represent sort of the spectrum of not only diversity in our co-op, but a diversity in terms of our constituency in the way that
Yeah.
we're represented by our audience. TJ, as you know, you'll learn, is he was a volunteer. He grew up with the organization. So you're talking about 30 years. He's only 30 years
Yeah,
old.
right.
The first one was probably
Yeah.
in utero, you know. But then Mbalia just joined a couple weeks ago, and
Oh, did
already
she?
we're starting to do things together. So
that's
it's an
so great.
exciting part to engage with our customers and our ticket goers who have been coming for 40, 50 years, every folk festival, and then some that may have never been there. This will be their first year.
You guys are doing a terrific job of promoting your artists and helping them out. I mean,
You know, we're so blessed because we work with a lot of great venues where we help partner, and like the Keswick Theater or Sellersville Theater, and the Milk Boy, where they would call Levi and call our office, and
Yeah.
we give them suggestions and try to fit cool artists with cool venues.
that's amazing.
New
the
ones that are
co-op.
starting up, Twisted Tail. We
Yeah.
started a music series
Oh,
in
okay.
there.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
neat having different levels of of benefits, so that if
Yeah.
you're a new artist and you basically are just looking for a guitar player to play with you,
Right.
we can help get you connected in that way. But if you're also kind of ready to play the main stage at Folk Fest or the Keswick Theater or
Right.
Sellersville, some of these other places, we can get you connected in that way
And
too.
that's what the co-op kind of does.
It does. We really started to realize, like we say to our artists, we're not a PR company, we're not a management company or booking
Right.
agency,
Right.
but we have all these opportunities in those areas
Yeah.
where people call up and they say, I need a fiddle player for the library or what, and we
Yeah.
can call around in our contacts, and it's a formalized thing. It's not just, I think I know someone who plays the washboard or what have you.
Right,
It really
you-
has become a family of sorts.
And that's so helpful for them and for you too. I mean, to get out there and to be able to do this for people and to be involved in the creative process with them and link them up. It's just tremendous, and I thank you so much.
Oh yeah, it's why we do it. So
that
we're
you
happy
guys
to
came on the show and told us
Our
all
pleasure.
about the organizations that
Yeah,
you work
absolutely.
with, and you know, please check it out. And thank you guys so
Absolutely.
much for joining us on the Philadelphia Cultural Forum, and we really appreciate all the talent and the work that you do for the Philadelphia Folk Song Society
Sure.
and the festival as well. And for your numerous musical appearances, our musical guests throughout the region. To find out more about the Philadelphia Music Co-op and its artists, please go to www.pfs.org, and that should be at the bottom of your screen. And I'm Kirsten Quinn, and this is the Philadelphia Cultural Forum on CCP TV, Community College of Philadelphia's educational channel. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.